This is Kevin Landrigan at nationaltelegraph.com. Great to have you back, and wanted to talk a little bit about the U.S. Senate race that's emerging between Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen and former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown. Scott Brown's got to get through his primary, and it's not going to be a cakewalk. He's got former Senator Bob Smith, Jim Rubin's the ex-state senator, Karen Testerman, the Franklin activist, all of whom are waging pretty active campaigns. But clearly, Brown is focused on Shaheen, and clearly Shaheen is focused on Brown, even though he's not a formal candidate. He's going through the exploratory campaign phase. But trust me, folks, this is a race that is not about testing the waters anymore. Scott Brown is in. And you could see that certainly with his comments last week about whether he supported expanding Medicaid. That's the bill that Governor Maggie Hassan signed into law to allow 50,000 low-income adults to have access to health insurance. Brown did a fancy two-step around the question. Essentially said lawmakers should be very wary about this program. It's not at all clear that Medicaid money is going to be available to states to support them through this program, and it could end up being an exploding program for the state budget. It's difficult. This is a difficult issue for Scott Brown. He's clearly against the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, and would repeal it if he was elected. Certainly would vote to do that. But providing health insurance to low-income adults is very popular. And also, the Medicaid expansion has the other benefit, potentially, of reducing uncompensated care for hospitals that legislators have called a hidden tax on people who have health insurance. In New Hampshire, more than $400 million is spent on uncompensated care that hospitals have to write off. Who do they write it off against? They write it off against the insurance, the plans for people who have health insurance. So Medicaid expansion could reduce that, and that's another reason why it's very difficult for Scott Brown to say, I'm against giving people who need it health insurance.